Okay, there was also another thing I remember with Nickelodeon was when they were like when they acquired airing Malcolm in the Middle, I think.
Yeah, they aired Malcolm Middle a lot back in the day.
So then I watched it, and then I saw the characters were swearing, and I got scared.
See, for me, I never really watched Malcolm in the Middle. I don't know, but I just remember whenever it would come on, was it ever on ABC?
I don't know what it aired on.
Maybe it was Fox. It might have been Fox, one of those.
Yeah, it's definitely a Fox show, because Fox was the edgy sitcom channel.
I remember it would come on,
it's Fox.
I remember it would come on, maybe we were watching like The Simpsons or something, and it would come on soon after. I remember it would come on, and we didn't know anything about the show, but we would always go, "You're not the boss of me now!"
You're not the boss of me now, and you're not so big.
I remember the theme song more than I remember anything from the show.
I still find it so crazy learning that the theme song was done by They Might Be Giants.
Yeah, They Might Be Giants got around. You also told me they did the frickin' Higglytown Heroes theme song.
Yes.
Oh wait, there was also another show I think Nickelodeon eventually required. I think it was Everybody Hates Chris.
Yeah, I remember that one. I'm curious about that show. That show actually looks funny to me.
I watched the show Everybody Hating a Kid.
Yeah.
I thought that show looked terribly mean as a kid, but honestly, I hear that premise. I think I saw a clip once and it actually made me laugh so hard.
I saw a clip from like the animated version of it where you find where it's like
there's an animated version.
Yeah, they made an animated Everyone Hates Chris show. And like the clip I saw was like Chris and his mom at a fast food restaurant, and she was making him demand that he got a receipt so that no one could steal his food. And then like when they get their food, someone immediately tries sniping it from him, and then he pulls out the receipt being like, "Nah, my food, mine."
I remember when I remember there was the clip I saw. I don't remember what it was. I think the characters were like eating dinner. And then Chris, I just remember the clip ended with Chris being thrown out the window.
Everybody hates Chris.
It was like just out of nowhere.
There's also, I've seen people also use that show as a reference to like, oh, they hate Chris from Pokemon because they replaced her with Lyra.
So, everybody hates Chris Thorndike.
They would definitely walk into that one.
I don't know if you guys watch The N or Teen Nick, but I sometimes would watch that because like Ned's Declassified was rerunning.
I didn't watch the N, but I did watch Teen Nick for a while.
Yeah, The N turned into Teen Nick after a while.
Maybe the most I did see was when they were doing those like the Nicktoons.
Yeah, the 90s are all that reruns.
Yeah,
I think that's the most I've actually watched anything of Teen Nick.
What you need to know about Teen Nick, or The End when I was watching it, was it was about 20%, old Nickcom reruns, 80% Degrassi.
Yeah, they had the right to Degrassi to the next generation.
I remember one kind of moment that kind of scandalized me, or like, whoa, they could do that, was I would watch Teen Nick, because I was used to it just being one of the many Nickelodeon spin-off channels, and they would play a lot of Degrassi promos between that. And I remember they felt very edgy for Nickelodeon at the time, because there was specifically a kid who said, "I'm gay" in a promo, and a shot of the two guys kissing.
Yeah, Degrassi did a lot of saucy stuff for its time.
Just sitting here like they could, because I was only used to hearing that whenever like I would sneak an adult show with my brother. I'm like, they could do that? This is a kid show, right? It was Teen Nick. It was a teen show.
Yeah, like Degrassi had characters naked on screen.
Yeah, they had characters naked. I think it was similar to me with Kitty with Malcolm in the Middle. I think I was scared to watch Degrassi because it looked like, oh, there's gonna be freaky. Like it was not, because it wasn't like comedy with it. I wasn't used to that kind of drama.
Yeah.
It looked like super serious and was gonna go into serious, scary topics that my like 11-year-old self wasn't ready for.
Oh. I don't know, but yeah, I guess a little extra context was that I got in trouble for, supposedly swearing, and I didn't want my brother to be exposed to bad words, so I was like really scared of like swearing in any context for a while.
It's kind of different. You could tell the difference between us. Like, you were like an older sister, and I was like the youngest sibling.
Because like I guess it was like I think it's because I watched Futurama and didn't process it was an adult show.
Yeah. See, for me, it was different being a younger sibling because you learn from your parents or an older sibling that showing your middle finger is a bad thing, and then because of this, you start like casually flipping people off because it's funny, and you're like in front of your like super Christian stepmom. I'd be like flipping people off. Well, we'd be like, I remember there was one instance where I was just like sitting in the car. We're like it was like a big van, and I was just like sitting there in the back, just holding my middle finger off, probably accidentally flipping off people driving by.
But yeah,
and I didn't know really what it meant. I just thought it was funny because it's like, ooh,
fair.
I didn't.
But, yeah, so I think I might have said I was pissed, and my van and the person driving me was like very offended.
Jeez.
And I was like, so then it's like, I mean, like it's like, oh, tells my parents about this, and I'm like, what did I say? I genuinely didn't know what I genuinely couldn't tell what I did was wrong.
Yeah, you didn't know which was the swear word.
Yeah.
I don't think I processed it was a swear word.
Yeah, that happens.
But I got in trouble for that. I didn't want that to happen again, so.
That happens. I remember, like, at one point when I was little, I was, like, at a park and on, like, the playset. And, you know, kids would always, like, key in stuff with, like, sticks and other stuff to write stuff on it. And I remember one time that happened, I saw the word ass and said it around my mom.
I think eventually I did watch a tiny bit of Adult Swim. Just because I don't know, I guess I was bored.
Yeah.
So some of the later programming would kind of freak me out, and even some of the commercials for like those horror movies kind of scared me.
Yeah. Adult Swim. From what I remember about Adult
Swim, I saw ads for Jennifer's Body back in the day.
Yeah. From what I remember about Adult Swim schedule, they'd always start you off with the tamer shows for older audiences because they were aware that some kids might still be up. Like, they'd start with, like, King of the Hill and Futurama and stuff.
I might be killing this slug, dude.
Yeah, back in the day, it was Futurama from, like, the Fox era.
Yeah.
that was the first show that would air. I think King of the Hill came around later.
Yeah, they'd pick, like, those kind of shows.
And then Family Guy be afterwards.
Those in the first bit, until they hit, like, Aqua... Then it was, like, Family Guy, which is slightly more edgy. Then it was, like, Aqua Teen.
Like they build it up.
I don't think Aqua Teen was really for me.
Yeah, Aqua Teen really is just one of those you either get it or you don't kind of shows.
Yeah, my brother really loved Adult Swim. Like, Adult Swim shows were basically what his type of humor was. So needless to say, I saw a lot of Adult Swim stuff when I was like way too young. Like, I would see like he really liked the Tim and Eric Awesome show. That was a show he liked.
I never heard of it.
Yeah, I read Tim and Eric.
Tim and Eric, he was really into that. My mom thought it was stupid and druggy.
I mean, that is basically how you describe most of Adult Swim's original programming.
Yeah, Adult Swim's humor, if you want to stereotype it, is yo, I'm high.
I think there was times I might have had Cartoon Network on at my grandparents' house when I slept over. There's been a couple of times where I'd wake up at like 4 a.m. and Inuyasha would be on. But I was still probably like low-key half asleep, so I didn't really process what was really happening.
Yeah, my brother loved Inuyasha. Like, that is one of his favorite shows. Like he told me he would be up at 4 a.m. in our house watching Inuyasha on Adult Swim.
I think I was just kind of surprised because it's like I used to see some ads for Inuyasha on some VHS tapes, I swear.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Pokemon, but I'm not really sure because they're kind of a different demographic.
I just remember at one point as a kid, like, we had some older cousins over who were like more my siblings' age, so like they're all older than me. And I remember they all went to like watch Inuyasha one day, but my mom was like, "No, you can't watch that show."
I mean, could have been worse. You could have been watching like Ranma 1/2.
Yeah, I was like 5, 6 years old, maybe. I was just confused why I couldn't watch it. Like, come on, it looks like Pokemon.
I feel like the worst it gets for Inuyasha is like the one guy that like gropes girls' butts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would I have even gotten that joke if I had watched it at that age? Because why I was banned from Family Guy was I repeated a bunch of jokes I didn't understand because I was so young.
I mean, worst case scenario, scenario might be you unintentionally like actually grew up in someone without me knowing what it meant.
Yeah, it's see, so Inuyasha was always slightly elusive to me, like what's so inappropriate about this show? It doesn't look that inappropriate because I didn't know anything about it.
It's probably like it's also more on the violent side, so because with it being a lot of action.
Yeah, it's so funny because like I feel like if I looked at Inuyasha nowadays, I'd go, "This is tame," because I fucking watched all of Akiba Maid War, for example, nowadays. Like I watched the show where I watched the show where about a maid like mafia gang, and the first episode, one of the maids just goes on a large killing spree, like a bloody killing spree with J-pop music in the background.
Yeah, don't mess with those Yakuza maids.
Yeah, that show was completely out of the element of what I usually watch, but I really ended up enjoying the story.
You know, sometimes it's really fun to go out of your element.
Yeah, like, and you know, nowadays I've kind of expanded my horizons to more anime. So I've gotten more used to I've gotten admittedly slightly desensitized to like either overtly violent moments or overtly sexual moments. Let's see here.
And we're done with the first level.
Woot. I would ask what a drawn to life animated series would be like, but I'm like, wait, that's just Chalk Zone.
It kind of. This actually has a plot though.
Chalk Zone, but it's more story driven.
Instead of there being one hero, there are like 3 separate heroes all working together.
I feel like one of the other slightly earlier instances of my being a voice actor trivia geek in my adulthood was playing Kid Icarus Uprising for the first time, getting really addicted to that game, looking up all the VAs, and realizing that Veridi was not only, you know, Starfire and Princess Bubblegum, but Penny from Chalk Zone. What the Rapo? It's a pirate! Alright, which pirates were we again?
I was the one that was actually the main character, so it'll stop you from having to talk to yourself all the time here.
Yeah.
The name's Pirate Beard. This Raposa rescued me from the clutches of the evil shadow pirates.
You're a pirate too?
Yeah, I kiddo. But they're shadows. Where's the governor of this port? Raposa, what do you say we plunder the village? Yeah, can be the new governor. Make up your Rapo lover. Who runs this port?
We have a mayor. I'm so confused, guys. You pirates are weird.
Alright, there better be treasure around.
There better be. God, I love pirate voices. That's a fun one to do. Raposa, you know those are pirates, right? They plunder, make you walk the plank, hoard banya and Rapo coins. So aside from bringing a ravaging horde of pirates back here, aside from bringing a ravaging horde of pirates back here, how ruins?
I got flying fishes!
No treasure? I guess riding a flying fish was exciting enough. You should go make sure the mayor is still alive.
Oh no.
I was getting a dancing first, but okay.
Nope. I don't know if this is just like me being high off not being sick this recording, but I feel like I really am nailing the Jolie acting here.
Yep.
Yeah, nice.